right, I'm Fox 26 meteorologist Ramisha Shade. It is time to track the tropics, and things are calming down for now, but this graphic is important because we haven't even reached the height or the peak of our hurricane season just yet. So don't get caught up in the fact that things are kind of quiet or we're in a brief lull, because they can blow up pretty quickly. We're actually almost 2 weeks away from what is historically the peak of hurricane season, September 10th, and also we typically have about 77% of our activity for the season during the time frame between now and the end of the season. So things could still be very active. So certainly don't let your guard down. Keep in mind that things could be busy, and we could get through several more of these names on this storm name list. We've already been through 6 names, from Andrea to Barry to Chantal to Dexter. Those are all tropical storms. Of course, Aaron became our first hurricane of the season, and a major hurricane at that, at Category 5. That's as bad as it gets. Fortunately, it never made an official landfall, but it did bring some impacts to parts of the U.S., particularly the East Coast. Now we're dealing with Fernand, which is a tropical storm, a struggling tropical storm. It likely will not survive through the rest of the week, likely dissipating by Wednesday or Thursday. Next name on the list is Gabrielle. Then we'd have Umberto, Imelda, Jerry, Karen, Lorenzo, Melissa, and Nestor. Will we have to deal with any of those tropical systems? Well, there's certainly a decent shot over the next month or two, but right now things are fairly quiet. Notice Tropical Storm Fernand in the central Atlantic looking a lot weaker, less impressive, and as it pushes farther north into some colder waters and more shear, it's going to get ripped apart even more, to the point to where it's likely not even going to be a tropical system anymore by Wednesday or Thursday. So we're not going to have to worry about that. And the other good thing is that it is remaining out over the open water. Never expect it to make landfall. Winds are down to 40 miles per hour for today. They were up to 60 miles per hour, I believe, for part of yesterday, but now we're seeing it really weaken. Movement is to the northeast at 12 miles per hour, so it's just going to kind of fizzle out, fall apart over the water, and it is not going to be an issue at all. So do we have anything else to worry about? Well, we were a little concerned over the weekend and early this week for this tropical wave that pushed into the eastern Caribbean, now bringing some heavy downpours to parts of Haiti and the Dominican Republic, maybe a little rain potentially pushing over towards Jamaica. At this point, though, National Hurricane Center saying no, there's no chance that this is going to turn into a tropical depression, tropical storm, or hurricane. We'll keep watching it closely, but at this point, nothing to worry about for us just yet. However, we have been monitoring the Saharan dust, which throughout the month of June and July was pretty thick across much of the Atlantic basin, kind of thin out. So that will give us more opportunities for more of these tropical waves to potentially blow up and become tropical storms or hurricanes. It's been helping us out for the first few months of hurricane season, but I do think as a lot of that dust kind of thins out, disperses, rolls away, we will see more action developing. Water temps have been super steamy and warm all season long. We've got temps in the Gulf, the Western Atlantic, much of the Caribbean, in the middle, even upper 80s in spots. So we definitely have the fuel needed for these tropical systems to get going. However, we just haven't had a ton of activity, but like I said, we're about to get into what is usually the busiest month of hurricane season, September, and usually the first 2 weeks of October are pretty busy and active as well. So speaking of September, notice that the chance for tropical storms and hurricanes really starts to increase. We're looking at the chance for hurricanes for September, and the highest risk is going to be in the Western Atlantic. And of course, if something develops there, that could maybe impact parts of the east coast of the U.S. We've got a big chunk of the Gulf in that likely region for hurricanes for the month of September, and we got the Central Atlantic, or what we like to call the main development region, Eastern Central Atlantic, in that above average or more likely region for these systems to develop. So bottom line, things are not over with. In fact, we could have some of our worst storms and hurricanes of the season coming over the next month to month and a half. So don't let your guard down. You see that September 10th date there? That is usually the peak of hurricane season, and of course we will keep monitoring things daily. All right, I want to hop over to the Eastern Pacific because we do have a tropical storm here, which is bordering on becoming a hurricane. There's a small window for this to become a hurricane. Right now, 65-mile-per-hour winds. If it will become a hurricane, it will likely happen over the next 24 hours. This is Tropical Storm Juliet moving west of Cabo and the Baja Peninsula. It likely will stay over land as well, weaken as we get towards Thursday and Friday and lose tropical characteristics. So no major issues from that tropical system. But what about cruise, vacation plans? Maybe you're hopping on a plane, hopping on a cruise ship, heading to Cabo Wednesday through Sunday. Tropical Storm Juliet should stay to the west of Cabo, so that's good news. But there will be a better shot for some showers and storms, especially Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And temperatures, hey, not bad. I enjoy middle 80s, so middle upper 80s, not bad at all. But you may briefly have to delay your beach time with those spotty storms. Also in Nassau, Bahamas, if you're going to be cruising here or flying here for a vacation this weekend, there will be the opportunity for more of those spotty afternoon and evening downpours, especially on Friday and Saturday. Temperatures hanging out for the weekend close to 90 degrees. So I think if you're cruising, things are looking pretty good. If you're going across the Caribbean, going to Cabo, no major issues from hurricanes or tropical storms. Let's try to keep it that way as long as we can. Of course, if I see any trouble, I will quickly let you know. Keep checking back with us daily.